Sunday at the shop. I noticed last week when I was running this, that little oil drip there. And when you see that spot in the back there, it's a good size one. So we are going to get this girl fired up and figure out what's going on here. Take that fender off and have a better look at this. Come on, girl. Little puddle right there. It's coming from the back of the motor. It's landing on this cross member and then going down. So computer. I can already see the problem at the front. It's not a big deal at the front. The back though, I don't see where it's leaking. I'm gonna let the truck warm up a bit and see if I can find out. Better close my pintle hooks here. See if I can find out exactly where this is coming out of the back of the motor. I'll be right back. Alright, so we actually have a couple things in the front here. We had this, well, more than a couple. This power steering fluid line here was seeping a bit of power steering fluid out, so we got that tightened up. I'll have to keep my eye on that. And not only that, the actual pump itself was seeping down here at the bottom right through the gasket, a very minimal, but it is going to have to be taken off there and replace that gasket. This is why I waited to change the oil. I had my suspicions about this because this is the front cover and the bolts for the pump. There's one there and one down here that come right there, and then obviously the one in the lower spot. The lower spot is covered in oil because it was seeping. So I did tighten those up a little bit temporarily because I am going to have to bust those two bolts off, take the pump off, and replace that gasket you see right there to rectify that, which is why I waited to change the oil, because this is the front cover. You have a wide variety of gears in there. Your Huey pump will have a gear in there. It runs off of that, as well as your power steering fluid pump. Yeah. So I'm going to get that gasket ordered up so I can change the oil and yeah, rectify that issue. Now this line here, like I said, I got it tightened up. It doesn't seem to be leaking anymore, but like I said, I have to keep my eyes peeled on it. Now the one thing I did notice, you notice a little bit of oil right here. This line right here on the Huey pump is seeping. She's seeping down. Now to fix that, I got to take that line off and reseal it, because that is a fixed direction. I mean, there's no way to change the direction of that with a steel line. So that will have to be taken off and resealed. Anyways, that's the brunt of it. The issue in the front, which is quite minor. Now the back, I could not see any oil seeping back there for the life of me, and I did not see anything at all. So what I'm gonna do is, if it is coming dripping out of there, it's gonna be coming out the back of the head. So look at the mess. I gotta clean this poor truck. I'll sweep this out while I'm doing this. I gotta take the doghouse off, this little doghouse, and that'll expose the back of the head. Now I know there are some plugs in there that have O-rings on them. So I'm hoping that when I take that doghouse off, we'll get this started up and we'll see if we can see a little seepage anywhere. That would be nice if it was that simple, right? For sure. Alright, so I got the bottom line cracked off. Oil's draining out down into a pan down there. And I got the top part cracked off as well. We're going to take that line out. Here's the top one. Oh my goodness. I'm having a hard time doing this. Take that off. Oh, come on, girl, you're almost there. Oh, yeah, there we go. Now we're cooking. Alright. So, put the line off. Oh, it jumped down here. Now the oil is just guzzling out of my Huey pump. That's okay. I got plenty of oil I stocked up this year, and I kind of have to do this. So I'm going to just shut this down, get this fixed up here real fast. Alright, and in a hurry. Alright, so got the line off the Huey pump. Here's what I'm going to use to seal those threads because they were leaking. It's called the white stuff. It's premium thread sealant. I don't know if you can see that. Premium thread sealant. Yeah, it's what I used to use on my old John Deere because that thing would blow a lot of lines. Same with the old Takeuchi I had there. She would blow lines severe. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean the inside of the threads here, and I'm going to fill up that void in there all the way around with this stuff, both sides, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it back on, and I'll put a little bit on the threads as well. I'm not going to use it sparingly. I'm gonna make sure it's sealed up and sealed up good. Anyways, I'm gonna get that going. I don't really have room to get you in there to do that. I can barely get my hands in there. So anyways, I'm gonna get this all sealed up, get it back on, and then we'll open the doghouse up and see what we find behind door number 2. All right, so I got it on there as tight as I possibly can. Going all the way up. Got it nice and tight up there as well. All right, let's go pull the doghouse off. I'm trying to fill some sprinkles here. All right, so we got the doghouse off. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, 10 millimeter. I'm gonna be able to pop that sucker right off. That's for the GPS, which never gets used because I don't go far from home and I kind of know where I'm going. Anyways, so I'm definitely gonna have to put it in gear, get the gear shift out of the way. All right, let's zip these bad boys on out of here. I think it's a 10 mil. Alright, I'm gonna get this dog out of the way and then we'll have a look at this head. Alright, some stuff out of the way here. So, here she is. Yeah. Looking like a pain in the butt. I'm starting to wonder if that valve cover's leaking a bit. It looks like it out at the front there a little ways. Yeah. Probably gonna have to get a new valve cover on there, not the gasket. Not the upper, but the lower I think is leaking because it's actually a two-piece on this. 1, 2. Yeah. Crappy thing is to get that off, I gotta take both of them off, the top one and the other one. See, it's nice and dry there. So once you get right near this where it's bolted onto the head, that's a problem. But there's also these little plugs. Oh, where's the step? Where's the step? Okay, here we go. Oh, you see that little plug right there? That's definitely leaking oil, and that has an O-ring on it, I can guarantee it. I'm gonna get a Allen key. We'll pop that off of there, and we'll replace the O-ring. Alright, so I got my Allen key kit. Two different you got face O-ring seal kits. This is a John Deere from when I had the old Deere. I've actually used some of those in my cat toys, believe it or not. And then I got the cat kit. This is a face seal kit, but I mean, same, should be the same there because it'll have the head of that will actually be like a washer, and then your O-ring will go up against that washer, and then there'll be the smaller threaded part that literally bolts right into the head. But first things first, I think I'm gonna get this thing started. Oh, get this stupid thing out of the way and get it started so I can physically see it leaking there. I mean, there's I could see the oil coming right from that plug, but I want to see it happening. So I'll clean that up and then I'll start this up, and at the same time I could check the little repair job I did with the Huey pump. Alright. Alright. Let's go have a look. Fingers crossed. Nice and dry. Good down there. We got those little leaks all sealed up. I gotta get this a tight spot. Let's see if I can get you in here. Alright, so it's plain as day where that oil's coming from, as you just seen. Yep. Alright, so I'm gonna pop that plug out of there. I'm willing to bet that O-ring is toast and damaged and whatnot. Alright, pitter patter. Let's pop her out and we'll get at her. Alright, so here's our little plug. Yeah, the O-ring I think is split. Looks like it's split. Get it cleaned up here. Yeah. She's not in good shape. There's a part of it right there. Here's a part of it. Alright. So I'm gonna go get my little hook to pull these off. And we'll pitter patter, we'll, oh dear, don't lose that. We'll put her back on and make sure she's not leaking. Alright, so use my little hook here to pop this sucker off. Don't worry about hurting it because I'm not going to be using this one again. Holy jumpins. She just doesn't want to come off. And put our plug up here so we don't lose it. Let's have a look at this. She's a little dry and cracky. You can feel all the little cracks. Ooh, right there. There's not really much left to. Oh yeah, look, she's splitting everywhere. Yeah, that's why she's leaking. Too old. That's probably original. Yeah, I think this one's a little bit bigger. But this one's fatter, which I do like. That's too big. Oop. Too big. What do we have here? I think that's the one we're going to go with. It's still fatter than that one. Put this one back and we'll go with that one. Yep, that's the one. Alright. Grab our plug. Oh yeah, that's the one right there. That'll do nicely. Yeah. It's a tight fit, but wow, that's a little fatter than the other one. I like that. It should do nicely. And also what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some of that thread sealant on here. Because I want to make sure this thing is not going to leak again. And of course, before I do that, I got to clean up the head where the plug came out. There's oil all over it. Do as best I can to clean that up and just let it kind of dry a little bit before I put that on. And then I'll have to let this stuff set for what? Not very long. Yeah, I think 10-15 minutes and then we can fire it up. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna get that cleaned up. We got our plug back in there. And yeah, we got our thread sealant on there. We're gonna let that sit for a few minutes. Maybe 10 minutes. Go get a cup of tea. And then we'll fire up. And make sure that we are leak free. Alright. Tea time. The battery might die here shortly. All we gotta do is fire this up anyway. Alright, so we got that leak fixed. I want to show you guys something else here. This is why it's important to just check out tightness of things before you start going crazy, you know, making assumptions. Anyways, let's go have a look. Alright, so to go over what we did, this was leaking off of the Huey pump. This is the Huey pump here. That's what actually fires the injectors. I think it turns 30 psi into around, I don't know, it's in the hundreds anyway. It might even be in the thousands. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to look that up. I know it's a lot more than what the psi you get off the oil pressure in here. Anyways, so we tightened that up, okay? We redid that with that thread sealant. And then we also did the top part with thread sealant. I tightened this up. It's not leaking for the power steering fluid pump. I tightened these two bolts, this one here and this one down the bottom here, which pulled the power steering fluid pump in. And guess what? It's not leaking. So I'm gonna run it and see how it goes. That would be nice if I didn't have to take all that apart. But again, I'm not going to change the oil. I'm going to run it for a week and we'll see what happens. And then the other thing, oh my goodness, this sensor right here, okay, that's what senses the oil pressure going in there to fire your injectors, because that's what fires the injectors on this motor, is the oil pressure from the Huey pump. So that is what checks everything out. So you can see that I had a wrench on that. It was extremely loose. I turned that around, oh, what was it? Gotta be around 500 degrees before it got tight again. Remember how I said it, probably our valve cover was leaking? No, it was this. That's what was leaking. You can see the oil there right now from where it was leaking. Anyways, that's that. I'm gonna put the doghouse back on this freaking thing. And what I'm gonna do is pull our pressure washer out, and I'm gonna clean this engine right up. That way I can monitor it over the next week or so and go from there. Fingers crossed. Sometimes it's the littlest things, you know. A little O-ring is what it costs us to fix the back of the head, just a plug and an O-ring. Just this hose here just cost me some thread sealant, and then obviously just a little bit of tightening for the power steering fluid pump. Had some serious oil leaks, but it was not as serious as I was thinking. I need some wood here. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. There's some wood. Hopefully that takes care of it. Yeah, so like I said, I'll put the doghouse back on. I'm gonna get the pressure washer going, clean this all up so I can monitor it, and if all's good by next weekend, because it is Sunday today, then I'm going to do the oil and change the fuel filters and everything else on this. Oh, and I have a few other things I still got to do this beast. Yep, it's been a good truck. Just gotta maintain things, and she'll last for quite a while. I got 297,000 kilometers on this, so should be getting another 200 out of it. I think that the truck will be completely rotted. Pine needles. Completely rotted by the time that happens. Anyways, pitter patter. I'm gonna put all this stuff to get back together, wash the engine bay, and then I'm gonna go home, spend some time with the wife and kids. Until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow back on the job site. Take care. God bless. Catch you in the next one.